the plan is initially I'll briefly take you through a slide deck on giving you a background, and then take you to the live instance where I show certain transactions. So ERPNext is an open source product which is run by a foundation called ERPNext.org. So if you want to know more about ERPNext, post this webinar, you can go to the link on ERPNext.org, where you will find information more about ERPNext, its features, and the community overall. Going to the next slide. So what is ERPNext? ERPNext is an open source ERP system. The project was started by one founder named Rishabh Mehta in India, more as a family project, and then eventually he made it as an open source since 2010. ERPNext so far has been used by, it is being currently being used by more than 3,000 companies in across 130 plus countries. Now this number could be large, but whatever is known from the hosting provider called Frappe, which is run by the main founder of the product. So they have the database of roughly around 3,000 companies currently using, and there could be more number of self-hosted instances of this particular product. It is designed mainly from small and medium businesses. However, it has a capability to use it for the enterprise version, and we are aware about one company in Egypt using ERPNext for 10,000 plus employees strength, and they have replaced their current Oracle implementation and switched to the ERPNext. ERPNext covers accounting, inventory, CRM, manufacturing, payroll, project, and many other functions like website, and recently it has added the healthcare and school module. The beauty of the ERPNext is it is highly customizable, and it is more like a canvas where it could be extended to the requirement of the business. Going to the next slide, how will it help you? So it helps tracking all invoices and payment, know the quantity of the stock of the product available, identify and track KPIs, manage payrolls, assign tasks and follow up on them, maintain database of the customer supplier. It also has a capability of CRM module where one can track the lead opportunity, follow up on them, and then eventually convert them to the paying customers. It has a workflow where reminders could be set up. A module on maintenance is useful to track the maintenance of the machines, maintenance of the customers, warranty claims, etc. And it also has an inbuilt website module where whatever products you have in your stock module could be published onto your website, and many other features. These are some of the brief useful features how ERPNext is helping different people so far. The question is, why open source? So Encyclopedia in 2006 was a paid product by Microsoft, and Microsoft was charging an hefty fees for distributing a knowledge to anybody who was seeking. But now the scenario has changed. If you look at 2016, the Wikipedia is an open source project. It is being funded, managed, contributed by the community of people across the world. So all of us are getting benefited by anything we want to know. We just go simply Google around and find something on Wikipedia and read and get benefited. So this is the beauty of an open source project, where knowledge is not restricted to a few set of people. Instead, it is benefited to larger population at almost no or minimal cost. Now, there are several other products in the open source arena where open source is usually the softwares are better, cheaper, and faster. Why? Because it is being contributed by community, and there are a lot of brains working tirelessly without having the commercial mindset behind it. Maybe the pace of the development may be slower sometime compared to the other proprietary product, but eventually it is the best way to go technology forward. So Linux is known to most of us, where Linux as a foundation has changed the open source framework, and the operating system world is now being relied on Linux. The supercomputers of the today's time are running on the Linux. Even the Microsoft and the SAP and the Oracle themselves run their own machines and the supercomputers on the Linux operating system. So this is a beauty. Now ERPNext is one of the contender adding to that open source world, where it is also helping now the SMBs to leverage the power of enterprise resource planning with no license cost. What happens if we don't opt for open source is eventually people end up making the big names, SAP, Oracles, and Microsoft Dynamics, making them more rich by adopting their ERP products. Now, what are the benefits of adopting an open source product? One, it is cost saving, because it has, so usually an ERP product has three costs. One, the license fees. Two, the implementation cost. And three, it is a hosting cost. So the license cost is not there in open source because it is available uh, from the code library. It is licensed. So the remaining two cost of hosting and the implementation remains, which would be there in proprietary product as well as in the open source product. However, it remains, so one is always free of the lock-in from the vendor, and it makes it more beneficial to the company adopting the open source. It is being developed by community of people, so there is a diverse skill, and new updates, new developments are constantly happening in the open source product. It has a flexibility and freedom. It is highly customizable. It could be integrated to the other existing product and the solutions which a company is using. It does not have a vendor lock-in, and there is a community support is available. In the ERPNext case, it has a hosting options where one can host on the local machine, but it is usually not recommended. Or one can host on a cloud. Uh, the cloud could be either the community cloud of the ERPNext, or it could be the cloud hosted, self-hosted cloud of a client. Now, the question is, why ERPNext? The ERPNext, because it is a front runner within ERP domain, and this is the latest report of May 2018 by a Gartner methodology. So Gartner is an organization which collects the users' feedback on usability and user recommendations over several products, and it scales different products on the scaling parameter they have. They call it a Gartner methodology. On this, if you see from a usability and user perspective, ERPNext has scored much more than the big renowned name like Microsoft NAV, Sage, Microsoft Dynamics, SAP, and other. So that's why ERPNext is the product one should adopt. However, it falls still in the category of small vendor, because at this moment it is being targeted and being used by most of the SMBs. What are the modules ERPNext has? ERPNext has accounting, CRM, stock, selling, purchase, project, task management, manufacturing, project management, HR, and payroll. It also has a website inbuilt into it, e-commerce platform where it could be integrated to WooCommerce, Shopify, and recently they do new addition to the ERPNext module is healthcare and school. So it is a complete comprehensive module for managing the healthcare facility of a hospital or a clinic, and a school or college management system. And the latest addition is also agriculture, which I haven't listed here, but if you go on the ERPNext.org, you will find agriculture module as well there. Now, how does it look? It looks beautiful, very simple, very modern, uh, as you see on the screen. Different modules and its sub modules have been color coded in a different way. So stock module is coded in one color, and all other aspects of it. Accounts module is the other way. So it looks like a modular approach, and it has a different section of it. If I go further into the accounting module, the look is similar to this. So most of the screen and the doc type within ERPNext looks like the present screen which is there on your screens. So it has a two uh, sections. One on the left side, there are certain task management attachment features, and on the right side it is about the information capturing features. uh, Going to the next slide, the billing and payment. So most of the document could be generated, the important documents could be generated, it can be customized, and the print format customization is highly effective. One can brand it, make it look and feel as per the branding parameters one has. It also has a production planning tool for manufacturing. The project management has a feature of Gantt chart. It also has a calendar view and a Kanban view, something similar to what is there available in the latest project management tool like Asana and other. Moving to the payroll and expense tracking. So it has the payroll functionality, meeting of most of the requirements of the new age organization. It also has a point of sale for the retail business, and it is also available on the mobile app where one can do the uh, in time syncing of the point of sales integration. The analytics, what you see on the screen, and it is being improved. The slide is little older, but now with the ERPNext chart, much more advanced level of charting and analysis of the data is possible inside the product. So one does not need to export the data and analyze it. So at a great level, inside it gives several reports and the analysis by itself on a graphical presentation. The great beauty of ERPNext is it has a mobile application. So the view which you have on your desktop while logging via web browser could also be explored on your smartphone, and it is available on both Google Play and it is on Apple Apple Store. In terms of, say, again repeating the same point, in terms of the global presence of who is using ERPNext so far. So ERPNext is already being known to be used in more than 130 plus countries, and it is a strong community support of more than 10,000 people across the world, helping each other adopt the product, solving each other's doubt. And there are a lot of service providers who have mastered the product, helping organizations adopt it. In terms of customizable product, it one can customize report, look and feel, um, whatever they need they can keep in the report. If they don't need something in published report, they can remove it. So it is more about print format, how you want to uh, make your output, which you send to your customer, you send to a supplier, or the financial report. Those are highly customizable. The document, so each of the documents, so for example, when I raise a sales invoice, the sales invoice form which I see is highly customizable. I can add certain fields into that, I can change, rename those fields, I can uh, do some logic on it, and it is highly customizable. One can write scripts to do certain activity in terms of, so if I want to create a trigger, uh, for example, if there is a the payment due date is approaching, and if I want to keep a trigger on it saying that before 2 days prior to that due date one should get an email, those kind of scripts and email alerts could also be configured within the product. It has a workflow mechanism where one can design the approval mechanism of on submission of expenses or on submission of documents. So more like a maker checker concept could also be built. So when the accounts user is putting some purchase invoices or expense and an accounts manager wants to review it. So a workflow mechanism could be built where once an account user puts in the detail and it is in the draft stage, it triggers a workflow for the approval for the accounts manager, and once he approves, it goes into the submit stage. It also has an API integration to several other good products like, as I said earlier, the WooCommerce, Shopify, and few more. Amazon has been recently as an addition where the seller who sell on Amazon, they can integrate their uh, inventory on Amazon portal and bring it onto the ERPNext. It also has integration to several payment mode, Razorpay, PayPal, where the people who sell on e-commerce can integrate and receive their payments using those integrations. Moving on to the, so there are several people who are partners, service provider. So they are the people who have mastered the product, and they help organizations and users adopt the product. So the services usually they provide is the prototype demo. Prototype demo is more like proof of concept, where an organization intending to adopt an ERPNext gives their scenario, which is mapped to the demo instance and show to them that how it is working. So that is a paid service which many service provider give. Business fit validation, then implementation service, data migration. If it is a customization at a front level, field level, or at a business logic level, customization, installation and setup, hosting, connecting to the third party integration or some other existing custom app or the legacy app which an organization using, and may be customized. In terms of little technical details, ERPNext is built on, from the client side, it is built via the JavaScript coding, and on the server side, it is built via Python coding. So these are latest programming languages of the present time being used using the MariaP database. So if any existing custom app which has a capability